that sometimes we end up just focusing on what we're good at, and then we forget about the fact that we're actually in business to solve a problem for people, and to provide transformations, because the transformation is what actually is the final trigger that leads people to actually make the investments with us. So if we're not focusing on solving a problem and providing a specific transformation, then who are you in business, boo?
Welcome to the Altitude Lounge.
So as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about things to consider when deciding on a niche for your online business. You know, when people are, just getting into an online business, it becomes kind of difficult to really decide on, their niche, and our reality is that that's because there's so many options out there. We always talk about just how small the world is, but you see, even for just getting online, it really brings so many more things and people into focus. And it really makes you feel like you want to serve everybody as much as possible, because you can finally almost feel, and interact with anybody at your disposal. But it's important for you to zero in and get focused on exactly who you want to serve as your niche, so that you can deliver the best service possible, right? So here are 5 things that you can do to consider, or 5 things to help you consider or decide on your niche for your online business. All right, so the first thing, what are you truly good at? I normally ask my clients, what are your strengths? Like, list out all of your strengths, things that you've seen, and this is whether or not you want to toot your own horn and all of that. It's important for you to just say, cool, let me call a spade a spade. This is what I'm good at, cool, right? And when I say what you're truly good at, like, what have you been able to do consistently, and be able to provide as the same or similar results, right? So I'm not just talking about maybe you deciding that you are good at painting, but then sometimes the figure looks like a person and other times it doesn't. Right? So really decide on what you're truly good at, and are able to get good results at repetitively, right? So then now I want you to consider, what is the major transformation that people need, right? Our reality is that sometimes we end up just focusing on what we're good at, and then we forget about the fact that we're actually in business to solve a problem for people, and to provide transformations, because the transformation is what actually is the final trigger that leads people to actually make the investments with us. So if we're not focusing on solving a problem and providing a specific transformation, then who are you in business, boo? So make sure that you're checking out the major transformation that people need, so that you can actually help to position your services effectively, right? So for instance, if you know that you are truly good at making sandwiches, right? Okay, no, let me use an online example. If you know that you're truly good at copywriting, right? Writing captions or writing things for websites and all of that, right? Then focus on the major transformation that people need, right? The major transformation that is associated with copywriting is that, it's 2 things. Or the major problem that people are having associated with copywriting is that, they just don't feel confident in their captions. Like, maybe their writing isn't strong or isn't persuasive enough, and you are able to solve that problem because you are good at that. Right? So the transformation that is needed, or the problem that needs to be solved, is that they need good captions, or they need good copywriting to make sure that their products convert, or to make sure that their posts on their social media platforms convert, or even that their the captions or the writing on their websites convert. You get me? So it's important for you to see what you are good at and the core service that you provide in association with the problem that needs to be solved and the transformation that needs to happen, right? So Next thing, what is already out there? A reality is that some people are afraid to look at competition. Some people are afraid to look at, what their neighbors are doing, and many people, including me, are of the view that you should put on blinkers for your business. But there is a specific time when you should be looking around, because you want to make sure that you actually know what your competitors are offering, so that you know how you can innovate and set yourself apart, right? So how will you know how to innovate and all of that if you're not looking at what your competition is offering, and if you're not seeing where there might be a gap in the industry that you can actually fill beautifully? Think about it. So make sure that you know what is already out there, right? Then the next thing, what supporting software and resources will you need to deliver? So many people do not think about this when they are looking at their niche, but our reality is that if you are saying that you are good at social media management, but then you are not au fait with software that will help you to actually get that done, there's a problem. So it's important for you to definitely move into just doing your little investigations and making sure that you're choosing the best software that you can definitely manipulate and definitely be proficient at, to ensure that you deliver at a high standard, and a standard that will help you to repeat and improve upon the core thing that you are good at. And the final thing, what will make your business stand out? And I touched on it earlier when we were talking about looking at what is already out there. What will help your business to stand out? Establish your unique selling point. I normally tell people that, funny enough, you are your unique selling point, right? But beyond that, especially when people are looking on paper and stuff like that, what is it, what extra service or what price range, or what is it that's going to make them say, okay, cool, this is actually the program for me, and then you end up being the brato, or, well, we say that in Jamaica, you end up being the cherry on top, where your unique selling point is concerned, right? So with that said, quick recap. You need to establish what you're truly good at. What are your core strengths? And that will lead you to decide on your core service. And as I said before, you need to make sure that the thing that you decide on being your core service and the thing that you are truly good at is something that you can repeat in terms of delivering the same types of results, so that you can establish a certain level of standard, or a certain standard for your business, all right? Next thing, what is the major transformation that people need? What is the problem that needs to be solved, right? Next thing, what is already out there? What are your competitors doing? And do not be afraid of looking at that. There is a time and a place for reviewing your competitors, so that it can inform the way you are structuring your business and putting your foot out there, right? Next thing, what supporting software and resources will you need to properly deliver? We're talking about deciding on your niche, and it can't be that you're promising a specific transformation and you're deciding to focus on this group of people, and then the things that really will help you to deliver that high level of service is not, you haven't even ventured into finding it out, no, right? And then the final thing is, what will make your business stand out? Establish your unique selling point on paper, and note that is in addition to you being your overall unique selling point, right? And so in considering these 5 things, you will definitely be more on the track to establishing your niche and the ideal clients that you will be serving based on this niche or this focus, focus service, and focus transformation and all of that. All of this zeroing in that you have decided to do. So with that said, I truly hope that you have been able to benefit from this video. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, you name it, drop them below, or go ahead and reach out to me. Here's my contact information down below. And yeah, I'll be happy to hear from you, all right?
The Altitude Lounge.